Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. This will be my last video of the week. My daughter is getting married in a few days, my oldest daughter. So that will be it for me. I have so many things I have to get done. Alright, so this box today, I used 2 tags and I made a smaller box for the bottom and I attached them. The tag is from the Greetings of the Season dies. I cut 2 out of the Halloween Spells DSP that has the little bubbles on it. Okay, and I used the Potions and Spells bundle. So this will also be my last Halloween project. I wish I had had more time with that paper. It's so cute. Maybe I'll save it for next year. Alright, so the box measures, the total box measures 2.5 by 3 3/4. Just the bottom box is 2.5 by 1 3/4. All right, and inside, and this is great, they don't have to undo anything to get their candy out. You could probably fit a little bit more than this. I put a Twix and a Hershey's and a Starburst, but you could probably squeeze one more thing in there. And if you don't mind it sticking out the sides a little, you can put the M&M's packs and stuff, the fun size. Alright, so we need, this one is pretty economical on the cardstock. We need a piece of cardstock that is 7.5 by 2 3/4, 2 of the Greetings of the Season labels, the largest one. And these are about 3 3/4 tall by 2.5 wide. So 2 of those. And this I already did. We need 1 of the cauldrons stamped on basic black cardstock with Versamark ink. And I sprinkled it with white embossing powder. We're going to do the Happy Halloween on this with black embossing powder. So I didn't want to have you sit through 2 embossings. So I did that. And also, this is how the Happy Halloween looks embossed with black embossing powder, and this is how it looks when it's just stamped with the Tuxedo Black Ink. So it really makes it pop a lot better. Alright, so we need those things, and I cut out a bunch. Also from the DSP, we need 2 pieces that are 3/4 by 1.5. From the DSP, I also cut the little pieces of the bottles, the insides of the bottles, and the bottles from Pumpkin Pie Cardstock and Highland Heather Cardstock. And then we need 1 large, 2 medium, and 2 small of the bubbles. And I used the Old Olive Glimmer paper as well as the drips. Now, this would work perfectly for St. Patty's Day if you made these gold. Alright, so let me get my Simply Scored. I think I drew. Okay. Please subscribe and hit the like button. And we're going to start on the 7.5 inch side. Score at 1/2, 3, 4, and 6.5. Turn it to the 2 3/4 inch side and score at 1. Alright, not too hard. Now just fold and burnish your score lines. Okay, the 1/2 inch rectangle is over here, and there are 1 inch strips on the bottom and over here. And this is what we're going to do. We're just going to cut this 1/2 inch. We're going to wedge on the 1/2 inch rectangle, keep the rectangles straight, and wedge the squares. Alright, so go to the first score line, cut it to the first score line, and wedge up. And then go to the next, oops, too far, next 2 score lines, cut them to the first score line, and then wedge that square. Go to the next score line, and cut it to the first score line, and wedge that square. And then only on this side we need to wedge that 1/2 inch rectangle. And that's what your cardstock should look like when you're done. All right, we're going to put some tear and tape on this little teeny piece of the 1/2 inch rectangle. Take the backing off. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it over and fold over the sides. All right, so where the seam is our back, and that's the flap you're going to put down first. Now we need those 2 pieces of the Halloween Spells DSP that are 3/4 by 1 1/2, and I'm going to put them on these sides. This gives a little bit of interest to the side of it. And make sure which is your front and back. Well, first, before we do that, we're going to take our front piece of our front tag, and we're going to stamp Happy Halloween at the top in Versamark ink. Now, you would do the same thing on basic black cardstock for the cauldron. I'm going to try to get this right where that little bend is on the top of the tag. Then I'm going to take some black embossing powder and sprinkle it on there and tap off the excess. Great. All right, and then we're going to heat this with my heat tool. Okay. It looks so much nicer than the just plain stamped with ink. Okay, now we're going to put our front and back onto our box, and I'm going to put glue. Make sure which one's the front. There we go. I'm just going to put glue all over the front of the box, and then I'm just going to cover it. Make sure side to side is good, and then you can just stand it up to make sure that it's flush to the bottom. And then we'll do the other side. Okay, and that's your box. All right, now we need some Stampin' Seal Plus, or you can use glue. I used glue on this and it was pretty hard. So we're going to flip over our cauldron and put some Stampin' Seal on the back. And then we need our bubbles. All right, so now we have all our bubbles. And we're going to put the big one right in the middle, sticking up, just as much as we need for it to stick on. And then we're going to put the medium ones next to it, just a little bit lower than the top of that. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then that last bubble at the end. Okay, now flip it over and see if you like it. Then we're going to put dimensionals over where the rest of that Stampin' Seal Plus is, so it won't stick down. Okay. Whoops. And then we're going to put this right down, oops, on the bottom. Just like that. Okay. All right, now we need to glue our drips onto the top. I'm going to go all the way over that white line at the top and the black and just kind of center it. Oops. All right. Okay, now I got glue on there. We'll fix that in a minute. And then we need our 2 bottles. Oh, here it was. All right, we need our 2 bottles and the inserts. Now you could switch these and do the purple in this one. That would look very cute. I should have done that, but I'm just going to put orange on orange and purple on purple. And then we're going to put the orange one down right there with liquid glue. And then I think I'm just going to pop this up with a dimensional. This one I glued and I didn't like it because it kind of went in a little valley. So I'm going to put that right there with a dimensional. All right. Now after you would put your snacks in, but you can put your snacks in after because it's pretty easy to slide in and out. I'm going to take a doubled piece of this peach pie bordered ribbon and I'm going to put it through the holes. And I'll cut this piece in a minute. There we go. All right, and then I'm going to take a doubled strand of linen thread. One of my favorite things that we have. And I'm going to tie the bottom closed. Okay, and then for the final touch, I'm going to take some of our purple shimmer gems and my take your pick tool. That I'm going to use the gorgeous grape ones, so they're in the middle of everything here. And I'm going to put one right there, and then I'll do a small one up above it. And then I'll put another large one right there. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, my email is below with all the other information and links. And please subscribe and hit the like button. I will see you next week. Have a great week. Bye.